sleep. What to do? Could somebody come and take me away? I've been in the tea without you, and I got it in my head night and day. But we are one step closer. We're all in this together. Put your hand in mine. Yeah, we are one step closer. Can you feel it, baby? It's the end of the line. It looks like we made it. Let's get it on. We got it going, moving on. Oh, it looks like we made it. Let's get it on. We got it going, stay strong. Oh, it looks like we. It looks like we. Yeah, it looks like we made it. Let's get it on. We got it going, stay strong. Oh, it looks like we made it. Wake me from this tree I've been in. I need to get in closer to you. I swear you might succeed. Oh baby, I've been waiting for you. Now we are one step closer. We're all in this together. Put your hand in mine. Yeah, we are one step closer. Can you feel it, baby? It's the end of the line. It looks like we made it. Let's get it on. We got it going, moving on. Oh, it looks like we made it. Let's get it on. We got it going, stay strong. Oh, it looks like we. It looks like we. Yeah, it looks like we made it. Let's get it on. We got it going, stay strong. Oh, it looks like we made it. Yeah, it looks like we. It looks like we. Yeah, it looks like we. It looks like we made it. It looks like we. Oh, it looks like we made it.
Hi, chat. Hello, chat. Seems like they're getting everything started still. But hello, we're doing Academy on a separate server today, which is interesting. Oh, look at all the little babies. They're so cute. What do the FTOs look like? What the heck? Okay, so it seems like they're all getting on Discord to talk, so This might be super scuffed. The heck is he wearing? Wonder if I need to get invoice. Okay, watch your ears, chat. Hold on.
All right. Give it a second. I think we might need to get people split up. I think we should be okay. We'll do the opening here too. Once everybody's here.
Yeah, I think there's still people in the locker rooms and stuff.
Okay.
Let's make an effort into not locking the doors, please, for today, all right?
That goes against the standard.
Can we get one of those giant signs on this side of the car park as well? Don't know how to do the bigger font, but just let people know to join the Discord.
Just an FYI, I don't think spawning dogs is gonna help the scuff, so please avoid doing that.
Oh my, there's so many people here. Oh my god. Good lord.
On the posh side, whilst we're waiting, everyone looks like my girlfriend, and that's hot.
What?
Everyone has
Everyone
Kiki
looks like Kiki.
Hell yeah.
This isn't
Oh.
in character, by the way. So that's
Yeah, sorry. Are you dating Kiki OC as well as in character?
not a real person, by the way.
That's a bit of a.
Somebody tell Cat
It's cross
Cosmic that.
Ah!
Uh-oh. All right. I'll start. I'm gonna start in about 2 minutes. So.
What the heck? I want that. Actually, it's all wonky on her.
And all the cadets, while we're waiting here to get started, just go ahead and line up next to the backs of these Crown Victorias in the parking lot. You don't have to be like in front of a car, like one car to one. There's way too many cadets, so just line up shoulder to shoulder with your back to the cars here.
Matt, we can hear you twice.
Yeah, I can't do anything about it. I mean, I'm trying to talk in Discord, but you're gonna hear me in voice too.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
It's gonna be the same way for me. Just make sure everybody's whispering and whatnot, just in case.
I got you, just making sure in case you didn't know. Alright, perfect.
Look at all the dreamless worms. Also, hold on. Just want to make sure I'm not accidentally talking in the thing. This is me. Thank you very much for the 10 gifted subs. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. And also, Jeff George, thank you for the 10 months. Welcome back. Reckless GM, thank you for the 23. Mian Mari, thank you for the 17 months.
Is everybody in Discord? Are we still waiting on people?
And then Kia Kicks, thank you for the Prime. Welcome.
A couple of us are running in.
All right, we'll give it one more minute then.
Hey, real quick, my microphone is yellow. I'm not talking in game, am I?
Mine's
you're not.
gray.
Interesting. Okay.
Like your hair.
Oof.
Hey, now, come on. That's fucking.
What's up, guys?
I just want to make sure I'm not hot micing. Appreciate it.
Best
No,
part
sorry, I
of
was
having
just fucking
broken
with you.
VoIP. Best part of having broken VoIP is I can't hear anybody double talking. This is neat.
True.
Silver lining.
Okay, there is way too many people in this area. Did all LSPD go to Bob Smith?
I don't think
No, I don't believe so. No.
Everybody's just still here.
Wait,
Do you
what?
want to
Like everybody is.
You want us to relocate all of LSPD to Bob Smith?
Yeah,
now?
we need to split this up. There's just way too many people. People are gonna crash like crazy.
Yeah, there's 128 in this area.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
will we have LSPD just stand over
Bruh.
there in the parking lot or in the basement? Thought that's what we were doing.
We had them moving to Bob Smith, but then we decided to do the Discord thing, so it kind of got frozen up at that point.
LSPD, there's also cars downstairs. Anyone can grab one. Just Slim Jim the vehicle. Please don't use the horns, please, for the love of God.
I hope this helps
There's
a
still
lot
a
of
few
people.
people joining in that were having issues like loading in the server with some cadets.
Hopefully it should be better now that we're splitting the people up. I guess, Mantis, if you want to give it a few more minutes just so everyone could relocate and pull up the MDW. Or do you want to do introductions while people are relocating?
Yeah, we're gonna do them once I see everybody moved around and in place.
Here.
Just to check, it's okay to stream all of this, right? Including Discord audio, etc.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
There are still so many people. What the heck? Why are there so many people?
If you're LSPD, once you park, just come to like it's like a area above the parking lot here. It's a pretty big open area. It's out of the way of all the cars and such. just west of the PD entrance.
I still see some LSPD at Mission Row. Please make your way to Bob Smith PD, grab a CVPI, just Slim Jim it, and drive over there.
If you get in any CVPI in the motor pool Mission Row with 406 on the roof, I can give you keys to it. Oh.
Or just Slim Jim it, just so they can see that command too.
I'm gonna go grab some... Who locked this door? I'm gonna go grab some stuff.
I'm seeing a lot of cadets wearing hats that are not in our SOPs. If you want to wear those, you're gonna have to earn it. So if you haven't earned it and nobody told you can wear it, get it off your head. If it's not in the SOPs.
Get some stuff.
The people remaining at Mission Row right now is probably people from public, so I think we're good with everyone.
Yeah, I think so. Let me. I can go double check really quick.
And if I check the blimps, I feel like it's people that haven't changed their collars and whatnot yet.
Yeah, everybody should be split up now, so it should be all good.
Yeah, the locker room doesn't have anyone else, so I think we're good.
Rat Judge, thank you for the 11 months. Welcome back. I can't decide what I want to bring out here.
Okay. One more second and we're going to start. I'm just waiting for, see if everybody is joined. Okay. I think we're good. I think we're going to get started. Hello. Welcome to Academy. Day one. I will be your host. I'm ready, as you know. First thing first, in the Discord, please keep yourself muted. This is for all our sake. We're going to try to do get through the Discord stuff as quickly as we can. in regards to the MDW, before we start splitting up into groups for the practical stuff, there is a bunch of slides, and I will post these in the Waiting for FTO channel now. You can follow along. There'll be some extra information here that's easier for you guys to follow along or reference or even like use when you're on duty. So first thing is I'm gonna make this short and sweet. Whoever the fuck is shooting, I'm gonna lose it. You are cadets first and foremost, okay? And be acting like that. The academy itself is mostly OOC. You can relax. You can just focus on what you need, ask the questions you need. If they're OOC related or in character related, either way, when you're going through the different scenarios and stuff like that, probably you could do in character, maybe a little half and half or something like that to help practice. But this isn't a more no pressure environment for you guys to learn, practice, and figure out what it's like to be a cop. Your P&T departments are going to help run each individual phase of this. I will be overseeing the whole thing. So if you have questions regarding things, save them for when you're broken up into groups. You'll have plenty of FTOs. You'll have plenty of people to talk to with that, and ask any questions specifically, even if it's about the MDW after we're going to go through that. So save all questions until you were broken up into groups. That's pretty much all I really have to say. We're starting a little late. I'm not going to go too long here. So the first section we're going to do is, if you could follow along real quick, if you have opened these slides, you can see the schedule of what we're aiming to do. We are going to be starting with MDW section, which is going to be led by, I believe, SCU, Bundy, and Hardcastle Pond and stuff like that. So we're going to start with that. We're then going to go into patrolling and responding to calls. We're going to break up into groups for that. And then we're going to have like, I believe Ripley's going to say potentially over the radio. We'll see how it works. If a radio completely breaks, then we will do individual sections for department. So wherever your department is, we'll do, Castleman will do one. Ripley could do one for PBSO if they have, unless like Audit wants to do it, and then SDSO can, we got Owen and myself and a bunch of others. That's about it. Like I said, relax, have fun. Please ask questions if you need it. Remember, you don't have to stay completely in character. So if they're mechanical questions, if they're server interaction questions, please ask them, and we'll be happy to answer them. Good luck, guys. Have a great day.
Thanks, Dad.
All right, Occams, it's all on you.
Hello. As my part for High Command,
Yeah, the
Pond
Ranger
and
thing will be
Hardcastle, it's all
tomorrow,
on you. I'll step in
apparently.
and help out.
Thanks.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay, I guess it's me. You wanna start? Go for
Everyone
it.
open your MDWs at least. Can you all do that?
Look at them all.
There we go. All right.
And real quick, for those who don't know, that is your radial F1 menu to open your MDW, unless you have already preset a button to it.
All right. I'll go over the basic functions of the MDW. I'll let Pond go more in depth with the other stuff. But first things first, I suggest multiple tabs. Don't use the one tab as your end all be all, because you will mess your MDW up. So first things first, everyone open up a new tab. So you should have 2 dashboards open. We'll be using the second tab as your navigation. On the left-hand side, you will see a bunch of extra subsections. We'll go through these real quick. It's pretty straightforward. First page here, you can see warrants. These are where warrants will be placed, bolos, and bulletin boards. Bolos will be a once in a while thing. Warrants are pretty often. This is something you should look at every time you're on duty. Every time you clock on, you should look at warrants and see who is currently wanted. You can see how much time is left. And you can click on that to go to said warrant. So let's click on Sal Rosenberg. Click on that. It'll take you to an incident report that was done probably about 2 days ago. This will bring up his warrant, any statements and everything inside of it as well too. Pretty easy. It's pretty straightforward. This also leads us to the incidents tab as well too. As you can see, all the past incidences from the last 8 to like 24 hours will all be in here. This is where you'll essentially book your suspects or whoever you're going after. If you click on, let's find one here that's actually done well. It doesn't look like shit.
A lot of them are going to be busted because of the MDW issues yesterday.
Okay.
Ha! Oh, why is it big? Why is there a big sign? What is that?
2 Andrew Jackson Grand Theft Auto should be from 13 hours ago from Maxwell. There's a warrant for Jackson. But as you can tell, when you click on the incident report, you will see the suspect, their charges, who wrote the report, statements, and all that. Scrolling down that a little bit more, you will see evidence. This is where you'll input, obviously, all your evidence, photos, casings, blood, all that stuff. We'll go that more in depth in a bit. Below that will be your officers involved. I highly suggest you put everyone who was involved in the call in there so we know who was a part of it and what they did. And then persons involved as well too. Right below that is your tags. These are going to be something that please for the love of God, use them. This helps us narrow down certain calls or certain things. If you click on the tags, you're going to see a bunch that are already made. These help us narrow down groups, drugs, or type of calls, anything like that. So if you type in meth, let everyone do that, you can see 5 tags that come up. If you arrest someone making a sale of meth, you will tag it with meth sale, because it helps, like I said, us go back and find everyone that has a tag of meth sale or distribution or trafficking. It also, if there's not a tag made, you go to somebody and they'll forward it off and get a tag made. Right below that will be vehicles. This is when we impound a vehicle.
I wish I had a leg holster.
Legally owned one, of course.
I'm kind of sad I didn't
you will
request
put the
that.
plate and the reason in there, and you will create it. This will allow us to go back and see why, Andrew Jackson's Lambo was impounded, either for reckless evading or violent felony. If that's not done properly, judges will not give a shit. They will refund the strikes, and you'll be in trouble. So.
Real quick, Beard, for the evidence processing portion of things, I'm sure we'll go over this in more detail later, but I just dropped the notes we used from the mini academies in there that show you how to copy and paste all the stuff you need for evidence and how to input it. So,
yeah, we can go over that more depth
If
later.
you guys don't mind as well, in that Waiting for FTO channel, there is a pin message with videos that gives you a full training on how to gather evidence and whatnot.
With the MDW, I think it's still broken right now, but if you look at Andrew Jackson's name, there'll be a little piece of paper with an arrow that says export. This is where we can export reports into PDFs. Those can be placed into, you can send those to people if they need a report, externally.
Sorry if Discord's too loud, by the way. I don't know if it's too dank.
For incidents reports, it's based off of the suspect, where if it's an investigative report, you can do it right from there because there's no suspects included. So that's the small basis for incident reports. What we will do now is
okay. All right.
On the same tab as incidents, click on profiles.
It shouldn't last too long. Hopefully, once they get through all this stuff, they'll.
They don't have a profile. You have to create one.
We'll all split off
right there,
and
state ID,
be able to actually use
name,
VoIP.
a photo if you have it. Once you create it, it will add everything they have in the server, either homes, cars, their licenses, all that. But it's not created when they make a character. We have to physically create them a profile. So what we'll do is we will search for someone. I want everyone to look up. I'm gonna give you my criminal Wade Wilson. Because I'm gonna show you a few things that are on the profiles of these people. Give them a little bit of time because it takes some time for it to load. All right, once it's loaded, you're going to see the profile, the photo. There is a note section. As you can see, there's a few things added in here: the phone number, statues waived, and to get the DNA on file. This gives you some information on what they have. You can see the licenses. He's got a fishing license and a driver's license. You can see his tag, what groups he's a part of. You can see his vehicles. If you were to click on, click on the Glendale Custom, you can see, this is brand new.
Why did it
ownership
local that?
history and impound history. Impound's been there forever. Ownership is brand new as of, I think, 4 or 5 days ago. You can see how who owns the vehicle prior, when they sold it, how much they sold it for. So that's brand new. That is something we're also working on. But you can, click on any of the vehicles. You can see strikes. You can see where it was bought. Down below that is housing. You can see their Alta Street, their pillbox, whatever it is. That is a big helpful when you're trying to raid. And then you can see their actual owned homes. This also has an ownership history. That is a separate thing we'll have to do in the properties tab. You can see hotel storage
Burton's late
or
to
storage
Academy when
access.
he's lost and
This is
confused.
if they
Where
are
is
the
he?
registered owner of them, not if they have keys to it. So if someone has access to a storage unit or a hotel room, you cannot see it there. Below that, you can see their employment history, the repair shops. The one thing you'll see here, there's probably like 4 or 5 places in NoPixel that have this. The Lost MC Tail Gunner tag. That is keys to the compound of Stab City. You can't actually use that as, oh, he's part of the Lost MC. There is Clean Manor, there's like the CG compound, stuff like that. They have to give keys out as a business in order for them to have access to the gates and the doors. So there is a few things like that. You'll eventually find out who and what groups have that. So you'll have to ignore little things like that. And then you can see their priors. You can see their history of. You can click on, you can click on the charge. If it decides to load, it'll load the incident report to that. Essentially, if you're trying to find someone's prior history, you just type their name in the incident reports, and you can see all their, all their arrest reports or anything they're tagged in. So that is your basis there. When you swab someone's DNA, you would put on here, DNA swabbed on X date, and then you add the tag DNA on file. That's a big thing. So that is your basic profile stuff. We'll move over to reports. Profiles.
One quick thing to add in about profiles. Whenever you're running DNA through the system, what you do, almost every other piece of evidence you run through the evidence tab, which Beard will talk about in a minute. When you're running DNA, what you do is you take that 5 or 6 letter string and you plug it into the profile section. There's nothing randomized. It's not an actual DNA profile. It's literally their state ID. So what you're doing is you are looking up that state ID to see if we have previously collected DNA on that individual. If we have not previously collected DNA on that individual, if that tag that Beard just talked about is missing, if there's not
Tessa
a note
doesn't
saying
have an
DNA
instructor
collected on
t-shirt,
blah, blah, blah
unfortunately.
date,
This is as close as she can get.
then you did not get a return.
I wish I
You
could.
didn't see anything. You have no idea that it connects to that individual in any way whatsoever.
Yeah.
So that, just to cut a little bit of the weirdness out of evidence processing, when we're actually in city, that we call that a quote unquote false positive. The machine returned something, but we didn't actually have DNA on file for it. So
Yeah, so if he bled on a scene and you run it, you don't see it on file, you cannot know it was him that bled on scene. We take blood for violent felonies. Do not take blood for misdemeanors, resisting arrest, shit like that. If they attack people, then you would obviously take it. Also goes hand in hand with guns. There's a handful of guns in the server that have MDWs have an issue. There's certain guns in the server that people have benches to. So if they create a gun off their bench, it'll be locked to their CID. You have to ignore that. If you find a sawed-off shotgun with a CID 1503, you're not going to actually see that because it's a scratched-off serial. Anything legally bought from ammunition is fine.
Real quick, just for those saying they can't see the reports or incident tabs, try UI-R. If that still doesn't work, just chill, as a lot of people going for the MDW once. So
Report tabs might be blank for somebody because they might not have access to reports. So if you have, so you might have to
No,
sort that
mine's
out with
blank.
your FTI.
Yeah, no, I just checked everybody who said theirs. They've got the correct access. The MDW is just bugging out because there's a lot of us using it.
Hardcastle, do you want me to share your screen at all? Just for those who are.
Yeah, if you can share yours, are you able to?
I can, or I'm streaming if anyone wants to jump in.
I am.
Go for it, problems.
Someone's
Go for it.
report tabs work because
I'm
mine.
streaming as well, so either or.
Okay. So if your stuff breaks, open up ladies' stream and Discord here, and you can see everything else. We'll move over to reports.
This cop is Brocky. Oh god. He's gonna have a hard time maintaining that, I think.
Not when I was just. It's essentially the same as incident reports. There's a body with evidence in. We can lock certain reports to different categories.
If the voice is the same as it was
Not
before.
everyone can see them. Other than that, there'd be an investigative report. This is where you put stuff in when it's not. You don't have a suspect. Please do not be making incident reports. No suspect. All this information.
Uh-oh. Is Discord
Make it as
pooping
an
out?
investigative report. You put all your info in. You get a suspect. You can promote it. There would be a button there. You can promote to incident. Everything will bump up. You can add your suspect. We'll skip. Oh, my MDW just done. Skipping that, we'll go over to the evidence tab. The evidence tab here, you have a couple options. We can input evidence right from the middle section, but there is a search section as well too. This is where you would copy and paste your string of a DNA or a projectile or casing, anything like that, and you can search if that gun has been used in the past. If stuff is properly documented, you will see, X casing was used on this scene. You can go back and look. So the search option, you would copy and paste usually the first 6 or the first 9 or 10. It's kind of the first part of the identifier in there that will allow you to find the guns.
Hey, are you far away from your mic? Because you're cutting off for a lot of people.
No, I'm right up to it. I'm gonna stop watching the streams for the stream causing the issue for me.
Yeah, this is not a high latency channel or whatever, so if you watch the stream at the same time, you'll probably experience that.
All right, so evidence, I'll go over that real quick. It should be good now. I've stopped watching the stream. You would copy and paste the string, the identifier, into the search. That will allow you to find if the gun was used in the past. This is something you need to do every time you take a gun off a suspect. You should not be running guns after the fact, because you're gonna find some very hot guns, and then you're gonna be like, you fucked up, because then you have to go now deal with more of it after. IWW keeps dying here.
We might have to have everyone stop using the MDW.
Yeah, that might be the best bet. Let's everyone stop using it and just watch the stream, because we're going through the last 5 parts of this. It's pretty straightforward. Properties tab. Properties tab is pretty straightforward. You can click on a building, you can put on an address, and you can see if someone's owned it or if they own it. With that, you can see ownership history as well too. That is brand new. I don't think it backtracks, so anything new in the future will show ownership history. You can't type in someone's name to find the owner or the property. You have to type in the property name itself. So if you just click on whatever one is fine. If you were to click on it, you'll see a little set GPS. This allows us to take it right to the address. So if you're unsure where someone lives, you can get a GPS tracking right to it. Then once you arrive, you'll walk up to the doors and you'll kind of use your phone to see if it's the right address. You don't want to go in the wrong house. Below that is the charges section. This is where you can learn all your charges, what they do, how much time there is, the definition on them. We have 3 colors here essentially. We have
What is the
green,
dance
which are
he's doing?
misdemeanors and traffic infractions. Orange is felony, and then red are hut charges. So if someone's getting charged with a first-degree murder charge, that is a held until trial. They are in prison. And then you have ones that are like drug trafficking. It's like a catch and release. It
I don't know what
used to be a HUD,
Nancy's doing.
but they, you know, you charge them at a later date or you plea deal them. But this is something when you're, you know, you got free time, you're chilling, you can go through and you can see what these charges mean. And find out what, you know, what they are. If you're confused on what a robbery of financial institution is, you can go look at it and you can read it. There's 3 different charges per. There is
how come he can do
main
it and I
charge is
can't?
accomplice is an accessory. Accomplice is someone who helps them in the robbery during it.
Dance
The main
second?
robbery, and then an accessory would be after the fact. That you will learn more as we move on. Below that is the staff page. This is where you can find every other government employee that has MDW access. If you want to find their phone numbers or their call signs or stuff like that.
Ah, okay.
Click on it. You click on AJ Hunter. You can see his call sign, his state ID, you know, what permissions he has.
God, my elbow.
His certs, FTO, pursuit, motor, canine handler, all that. Below that is legislation. This is something you should all be reading up on and reading over. So I don't think it's going to show any legislations right here because it's kind of fucked. But this will show, you know, the minimums for drug trafficking, weapons trafficking, human trafficking, the Class 2 legislation, stuff like that. I wish we could, but we can't.
Legislation's basically more in-depth stuff that is generally
God,
applicable to
what is
statutes
that,
or things that like the criminal code wouldn't necessarily cover. So it's going to be like, you know, how much weed is a dispensary allowed to transport at any given time, or the laws that apply to the farmer's market. Like it's going to be like hyper-specific stuff like that.
Is this it?
For very particularized instances.
Perfect. And then below that is businesses. This is also kind of broken right now too. So a business, you would search them up. You know, if you wanted to search Uwu Cafe, it won't work right now, but it will give you a list of employees. And we have a nice little option now. There'll be a green button below the search on the employee list. It'll show you people who have been fired and hired within the last like whatever amount of time. I don't know what it is yet. So we can see if people are firing people before we go in, you know, investigate them or raid them. We can know if they're removing their keys or kicking them out. That is the baseline for the MDW. We'll give you more info when, you know, when you get FTO sessions and you go out there. You get more one-on-ones to learn more of it, but that is your basics. That is how it works. One thing I'd suggest when you are writing reports, don't write it in the body of your incident. Because if I write it and then Pawn writes it and she saves over mine, it will overwrite it. So you gotta work with whoever's working on the report and do, you know, write it in like a Word doc, a Google doc, whatever. Write your report, your statement, then copy and paste it in after. There's no
I can't recommend Notepad++ more. It's very good. A very good thing to download if you want it.
One thing that I wanted to add, one thing I wanted to add about the staff page, there are only, I think, 3 people who have direct edit access for the staff page. So updating call signs, updating phone numbers, updating pictures, and all that stuff. Contact an FTO or a command member in the event that your stuff is out of date. Don't expect it to be resolved immediately. The people who handle that process it through, you know, 1 or 2 times a week. But if your stuff's out of date and you notice that, then, you know, reach out to somebody and you'll get added to the list.
Okay, that'll be my part of it. The run over. I don't know how much we can do for evidence processing with it being messed up right now.
I can talk about it a little bit, but it's kind of difficult. I can just show on the evidence tab here. You touched on it briefly about other types of evidence. When you enter evidence in, I'll quickly go over how, just keep it brief. You're gonna have different types. You've got things like blood, casings, weapons projectiles, vehicle fragments, photos, and strains. Each of these will have unique identifiers. Most of them are things in city that you will take. Photos is about the only one that is going to be a link. You can use something like ShareX. If anyone has a Stream Deck, you can also get a attachment there for your ShareX if you don't know. So if you need to make it easier, you can. I would definitely recommend that. And it has to be a .png or .jpeg. We don't need an MDW anyway. Who needs that, you know? Just have something like that .jpeg.png at the end, and it goes here in the identifier part. So only bit you need to put in. Description needs to be what the photo contains, plus the hashtag of the incident or report number. We do this because when we reverse search anything, it needs to be there. It is the only thing that will link it to that report. So please put the hashtag of the report in the description. Anywhere is fine. It doesn't really matter as long as it's in there. Blood is pretty simple. If I had... Actually, I know I do. Hold on. Don't ask why I have this in my locker. Don't worry about that. DNA comes up something like this. It is a piece of DNA. It's red. If you Control C on a piece of evidence, this also applies to anything in your pockets. It will copy whatever you have and add 10, and you can just do this, and you can paste it in. Or not, because my MPO doesn't keep crashing.
If you want other examples, there's stuff in Evidence Locker 1. I don't know why, but there is.
There you go. But you would put it in... Not there.
You could just use their guns, right? They could just practice with that.
Yeah, guns works as well, but I don't want everyone opening the MDW because it's just going to crash mine. That works. So you put it here in the identifier. Don't change anything. Don't erase anything. There's just no need. Just paste it straight in. The description, obviously, I don't know whose this is, but if I was to look it up, I would go by how I look at piece of DNA up is I copy this part, which is a 1650. I put it in profiles. I don't even know who this is. I'm about to find out. Probably not. But that's how you would search up someone's DNA and see if they have it on file. Every cop has their DNA on file. So if you find out a cop's blood is on scene, sorry to tell you, but we all stole your DNA at some point during your onboarding. It's now on file. It's ours now. So that's, they don't have to have their DNA inherently on file. It's there. Same goes with casings, anything like that. You would just copy it and paste it in.
Real quick, that blood thing also applies if your character stops being a cop. So if you start being a cop and then you go to committing crimes or whatever, we still got your blood.
Yoink. Same with the casing, you would just copy it literally from the piece of evidence that you have and throw it here in the identifier part. Again, don't erase anything because this is the part that tells me what gun it is that casing came from. So if you erase it, because you think you're being helpful and just do this, that tells me nothing. So please do not erase the gun or anything like that. You can use the casing database to find out what gun this is. It is a report, but it's also part of the important documents in the Discord. If you go to important documents and look for casing database, I think it's called something else, but it's under SCU. That is where you can find all the casings. It is updated regularly, but if you don't want to have to open a Google Doc, then you can just go to this, and normally there is a report called Casings Database. That is literally the title of the report. You cannot miss it. But if I was to find out what gun this is, I would go over here to my document and look it up. That's actually a grenade pin. That's hilarious. This whole thing is actually a grenade. So now I know that that is a pin from a grenade.
Yeah,
Obviously,
the Academy's
you will
OC,
get
so
used to
we don't
knowing
have to
numbers
worry
on the
about
ground.
saying
Until
stuff
you
that we
get back
shouldn't
to Mission
normally.
Row, wherever you're going to run the thing, you can see it's from a pistol or a rifle clearly on the floor, but don't be instantly like, oh, that's from a Dragunov. I know it's from that. No, you've no idea until you go back and run it, but you can know it's a type of casing. Again, like Hardcastle said, this start part on any gun that's not from ammunition, you ignore it. We just kind of, this is the
it's kind of a mixture of
and if you needed to
public
look up a
cops
gun,
and
you would
brand
copy
new
this part.
whitelisted cops.
So I would go like this with my gun.
And this isn't
add
even
in the
all of them,
weapon.
actually. So all those people along the line, we actually have
This box. Normally this wouldn't be here, but that's how a gun would look.
a second group way over.
I'm going to be patient with my NBW today. I really
Like, it's
am.
actually insane how many people we've got right now.
To add a weapon, it's the kind of the same thing. You just go drop down weapon.
No, we're not on the public server.
cartridge.
This is a
Now, there
totally
is nowhere
separate
here
server.
that tells me what kind of gun that you've put in. So in the description, you need to please put the type of gun that you're adding into evidence. So obviously for me, I'd put PD Glock, and if you can, put who it comes back to, who had that gun, who you took it off. So for me, I'd put like PD Glock, Lily Pond, and then I don't know, hashtag or one. I'm just gonna put like that. And that would be the kind of description that we would be looking for. You said the gun, you said who you took it off of, and you've got the report number. Now, because it is my gun that you took it off, I want you to put my state ID here. This is where you would put the suspect's state ID. That is because when we export the report, it then links the evidence to that person. So it's much easier for court and evidence that way to link it per person. Otherwise, if you have huge reports with like 40 pieces of evidence, you've no idea who connects to who, it can get very confusing. Projectiles, casings are all the same thing. You put the identifier and the description. Vehicle fragment, I don't think I have one, but it's a piece of purple. I normally have one in my locker. No, I don't. Okay, it's a purple thing. Again, it's the same, but it comes up with the color code, and you would just put that in the description, and then just put whatever you kind of found. Other can literally be anything else that is helpful. Say you take something off of someone that isn't inherently an item, say a phone dongle that is maybe their racing alias. Obviously the identifier would be something like alias and whatever their alias is. I don't have a phone dongle on me, but you would just copy it and put it in here. Then I would put the description of like phone dongle, and then I would put who I took it off and what their their alias is in the description.
Also, Rice Kex,
It's
thank
very
you for
handy
the
to add
gifted
these in.
sub, and Xander Prime, thank you for the
Anything that you think is
27
helpful.
months.
I know some people
And
put
I am
things that they
Marion,
find
thank
on
you
scene,
for the
like hair
11
strands,
months.
if they find anything that maybe someone's placed on a scene. So if someone's gone and done like a scene like this and then put something like hair
Oh, that was
you
the
could
Beaver
then add
Bush
that in
basement thing was
as
a joke,
other
by the way. I'm not
evidence.
actually doing
It's not inherently a drop down, but it's still something.
just FYI.
When my MDW restarts, I'll go over the last one. Last one's gonna be strain. Whenever you take weed off of someone, meth off of someone, any kind of drug, apart from pretty much oxy, every one of them has a strain. You need to copy what it says and just copy the joint or copy the bag or the box or the whatever you've got, the dry bag of meth, whatever the hell you have, and put the strain in here. The description would be where you found it,
The
who
Rangers
you
wouldn't
found it
use the
on,
basement anyway.
and then obviously the report number again. It's
We
very
need our
important that you put these strains in
enclosure.
because it's how we track who has what strains, and so we can figure out and kind of figure out how these strains are going to getting out there and where they're coming from. So please, if you arrest someone with drugs, add a strain in. That is a bit more detailed, kind of going in with everything. Did I miss anything?
The Rangers would
evidence
just
part?
lock
Anyone
people in
think?
the animal cages.
One thing for the photos is make sure whenever you're taking a screenshot, get your entire screen. If you've been on duty, you've noticed that the PD cameras has the location up in the top right. We need that full photo. Don't just zoom into the exact piece of evidence, because if you zoom into a yellow circle on a parking lot, it's not helpful in any way, shape, or form. So we need that full photo of the scene instead of just that one little thing that you're trying to say you have evidence of.
Yeah, don't do this. Like with this piece of DNA, zoom out, get the whole thing in, get the DNA, get the scene that you're taking the picture of. Not this, which tells me nothing. Something more like that, that's kind of zoomed out.
One thing is when you take pictures of stuff in people's pockets, especially guns,
Is in my group?
and you're using ShareX or something, mouse over the gun and then hit your hotkey to select the area you're taking the picture. This way you capture the serial in the picture. So for example, if you're on scene, you're processing someone, you take a picture of their pockets, and then all of a sudden someone rolls up on you, you know, whatever, like you still have the serial of the gun, regardless of if you get robbed, if the gun gets taken.
I think
you still have
Roger
the
said it
record
was
of what gun
him
they
and
had.
Sean
This also helps
Richards
if
in our
someone else
group.
processes for
But
you.
I don't know. I can't
And
see
then,
the things.
let's say the gun gets lost for whatever reason. Yes, it happens. It's happened before. You still have the record. Makes referencing easier.
Someone gave me a dongle. So yeah, it would be something like that, and then whatever their state ID would be. Someone gave me a dongle, but yeah, that's kind of how it comes up. For phone dongles, it's literally written as a copy.
Yeah, I have no idea why that was in my locker. I just gave it to you because it would be good for
Yoink.
purposes.
I don't go now. I don't think I've missed anything else with that. If there's any inherent questions, you can come ask afterwards. I don't really think there's too much else I can go into without having a section up. Yeah. Anything else you guys want to add?
I'm good.
No, I think it's mostly it. Mantis,
that wraps it up.
we're done.
Okay. All right. So the next part of this is going to be the practicals part. We're gonna do the RSMPC section real quick. I guess if it's easier, Ripley, if you want to do quickly touch on the RSMPC in regards to what we're about to do. I don't know, in like TLDR in like 10-15 minutes.
Yeah, I could do that. 1 second. Does everyone should have the PD Academy document open?
Oh, real quick, I'm sorry. What I want to go through, because we're going to actually use pretty much everything in this, because I want everyone to get familiar with it. If you're not, there's some new people here, is in the slides, there's a section with commands and mechanical stuff with your F1 menu. So just kind of make sure you have that open so you have an idea what that is.
And just if you can, Ripley, maybe like mute yourself in game for that part so you can only speak on Discord for us.
And also for all the FTOs or anybody, the leads of each department, start, if you haven't already gotten your groups together, get your groups together, and we're going to transition back into the game after Ripley's talk.
Okay, so LSPD, if you're here, let's go. Are you done, Sobol? We're gonna go to the lower part. All the groups are set up over there, so just follow us down.
It's not done yet.
Oh, it's not done yet? Oh.
All right, so
we're gonna get our group set up. Sorry, go ahead.
The slides that Mantis was talking about with all the F1 options and the slash commands and things that you should familiarize yourself with. If you've got the slides open, swap to slide 30 and slide 31 and just start looking at those. I'm going to be talking about reasonable suspicion and detainment and all that kind of stuff, but this is what you want to start to familiarize yourself with in terms of how these commands work. Is this what the practical portion you guys want to have them do, is line up and start like cuffing each other and stuff, or? We could do that when we break up into groups, honestly. I just wanted you to go over and explain like RSMPC in like a quick like 15. We want to probably start around 1:15. Oh, okay. In 15 minutes you want me to do it. I thought you wanted me to do it. I could do it in 15 minutes if you want, but.
Just give like a brief overview like you've done the last couple times on just RSPC and what we're about to do.
Okay. Do you want me to start now or start at 1:15?
Yep, go ahead. No, I meant like do it now, yeah. And then we'll break up into groups.
Okay. 1 second. Let me just get to the right slide. All right. All the cadets seem to be settled in. All right. So if you want to read along with what I'm going over, we're in the slides right now, and say something if you don't have access to the slides, because for God's sake, you should have this open on your other screen. Go to slide 18. Once again, that's slide 18. We're going to be talking about reasonable suspicion, probable cause, detainment, and arrest. These are foundational towards every situation you're going to be going into. All right, so I'm not going to read every single thing on this page. Law enforcement officer, if you made it into this academy, for God's sake, I hope you know what that is. Read that on your own time. So detention. Detention, when you are questioning someone and they are detained, a lot of cops starting out are a little wishy-washy with what that means. Detention is a brief and cursory holding and questioning that is based on a reasonable suspicion. Detention must last no longer than is necessary and must be conducted with the least intrusive and reasonably available means. So I see a lot of younger cops, they get out there, and as soon as they start questioning someone, they're like, turn around, I gotta put the cuffs on you, I'm gonna be talking to you, you have to be handcuffed. As you can see here, it needs to be the least intrusive possible. So if you can detain them just talking to them while they're in their car, then you can do that. If it needs to be more than that, you can escalate if necessary. Okay, so in that definition, it said based on reasonable suspicion. So that's going to lead us to our next definition. What is reasonable suspicion? Reasonable suspicion, a reasonable presumption that a crime has been, is being, or will be committed. It is a reasonable belief based on facts or circumstances and is informed by a law enforcement officer's training and experience. Reasonable suspicion is seen as more than just a guess or a hunch, but less than probable cause. Having reasonable suspicion is grounds for detainment, but not grounds for search and seizure. So think of this as you're getting your foot in the door. Reasonable suspicion is just enough to start questioning somebody about a possible crime. You don't have to have proof that they did it. You just have to have some reason to believe out of all the people in the world that this person you're talking to is the person that you want to ask some questions about. If you can at least put your foot in the door, you've got reasonable suspicion, and you can detain them for as long as you need to rule them out as a suspect or determine if there's more investigating that needs to be done. All right, so those are kind of like the two base level, detainment and reasonable suspicion. If anybody has any question about that, pop that in the Waiting for FTO channel now, because like I said, we're going to be building on that. And if you don't understand what detention is or what reasonable suspicion is, then you're not going to understand what we're about to go over. I'll give you a couple seconds to pop a question in if you have one. Where are you reading from the slide? So I'm on slide 13. Oh, are you looking? Are you trying to say where is the slide? Oh, what slide? I'm on slide 13. I'm sorry, 18. I misread that. I'm on slide 18. I've got it so small on my screen. Okay, everyone's got the slide. Nobody has any questions about reasonable suspicion or about detainment. Good. All right, let's say in a scenario you have someone detained.
February, I think it's at 28
you've got
months.
reasonable suspicion that they've done something, and you're questioning them while they're detained. In the course of your investigation, you've come up with some clue or some piece of evidence that escalates that that situation further. You can now arrest them and charge them with the crime. What does it mean to arrest them? The taking of someone into custody through a significant restraint on movement, including but not limited to placing handcuffs or restraints on the person. Arrests are made using probable cause. So you don't just arrest somebody and say, I'm going to find out what you did, you're under arrest. That's Hollywood bullshit. You need to have probable cause to believe that they've committed a crime in order to effect an arrest on them. Because think about all the things you're doing. You're taking away someone's movement, someone's freedom of movement, someone's freedom to leave the area. That's a significant... You're basically kidnapping them. So you need to have probable cause to arrest, and you need to be able to articulate that if a judge or lawyer asks you what it is. So you better have your ducks in a row before you slap those cuffs on, because if they contest it, you're basically liable for what you just did to them. So make sure you know what you're doing before you actually tell someone they're under arrest and before you actually place someone in significant restraints. So just like we did with the detention and then providing reasonable suspicion, to arrest someone, you need to have probable cause that they are under arrest. So what does that mean? What is probable cause? It's different from reasonable suspicion, and here's how. Probable cause is the logical belief supported by facts and circumstances that a crime has been, is being, or will be committed. Having probable cause is grounds for arrest and or search and seizure. So think of reasonable suspicion is just enough to articulate why out of 100 people in a mile square radius, why are you questioning this person about this crime? That's reasonable suspicion. Well, they were right next to the cash register, or they were wearing a mask and nobody else was, or they had a class 2 weapon on their back. These are all grounds for like reasonable suspicion. Whereas probable cause might be, okay, there was a shots fired call, they're next to it, and they're GSR positive. Now, it's not just questioning, it's not just suspicion, there's actual evidence that they committed this crime, and now I have grounds to search their pockets and see if they're the one with the gun in their pocket. That's the difference between reasonable suspicion and probable cause. There's evidence, it's not just circumstantial evidence, it's not just they were standing in the area, there's more than that. It's not just what they were wearing, there's facts, there's evidence, there's positive GSR, there's a gun in their pocket, there's stuff like that. That's probable cause. Wouldn't a class 2 on their back probable cause? It depends, Reed. That's a good question. It depends on the nature of the crime you're investigating. In and of itself, having a class 2 on your back is not a crime, because now there is a license that people can have. So you can be suspicious that someone has a class 2 and say, okay, let's see your paperwork. Do you have a license for that? Is that even a legal type of weapon to carry? Let me inquire further about that. But you can't just immediately effect an arrest on someone based on the fact that they might have committed a crime. You can detain them for that, and because they've got a class 2, I would probably advise you to handcuff them, to be honest. But that doesn't mean that they're under arrest. You have to investigate further, see if they have a license. Hey, this is a AK-47. Nobody's allowed to carry this. So then you can upgrade that to an arrest instead of just a detainment. But you can't just spot people and be like, oh, that person's under arrest immediately. I know from just over here that there's no way. Like, you got to investigate to determine that.
Are we
So
sitting
it's kind of
outside?
like everything we do as police work. Don't
we're
just
doing
jump
a
the gun and
PD
go
academy.
right to step C. Always build your cases. And anytime you interact with any person on the server, never just jump right to boom. I'm gonna
There's
immediately start
way too many
blasting.
people to be
always
inside of a
or you're
building right
immediately
now.
under arrest. Always start off with the
the
investigation.
heck?
Build the blocks. Work your way up to that, because I'll tell you, I've been on the server a long time. If you jump right to you're under arrest when you see people, those same people are gonna stop talking to cops, and they're just going to blast you as soon as you pull them over. And when you ask them why they do that, they're going to have a conversation with you in the DMs and say, honestly, the reason I do that is because every time I stop, the cops immediately arrest me, and they don't even ask me any questions. They just throw me in cuffs, and there's nothing I can do about it. So build your way to that, and you're going to have better role play as return. Always start your investigation small, build it up. Even if you know it's the 10th robbery today, build yourself up there. All right. All right, do you want me to go through the case laws as well, or did you just want me to do the definitions?
No, we can break up into groups, and we can, if you guys want to talk about it, we'll have some time, I think. We can go over certain case laws that are important, such as, did you do Terry Frisk?
I did not. I didn't do any of them yet. We've only spent 7 minutes, so if you want, I can go over the case laws.
Yeah, you can go over a couple of the case laws that we're going to go through with these scenarios.
Okay. So when you are detaining someone, whenever you're asking them any questions about anything, nothing that they say can be used against them as evidence unless you have read them the Miranda rights. If we're still on slide 18, Miranda versus Arizona. This is a 1966 case law. Under the Fifth Amendment, any statements that a defender in custody makes during an interrogation are admissible as evidence of a crime, of a criminal trial, only if law enforcement told the defendant of the right to remain silent and the right to speak with an attorney before the interrogation started, and the rights were either waived knowingly or they were exercised, but it has to be in a voluntary, knowing, and intelligent manner. So you can't like ask someone who's semi-conscious, drifting in and out, or completely drunk and be like, well, he said yeah. Like, you have to be able to articulate that they were in their right mind when they heard your question and when they answered it.
Or on the ground, unconscious.
Right, yeah, it makes me cringe hard when I see people reading people with their Miranda rights while they're literally on the ground waiting for EMS. It's like that person is incapacitated for the purposes of role play. They can't get up and walk around, so why would you think they can answer a legal question? It doesn't make sense. All right. Next page, we're on slide 19 now. Terry versus Ohio. Under the Fourth Amendment, the U.S. Constitution, a police officer may stop a suspect on the street and frisk him or her without probable cause to arrest if the police officer has a reasonable suspicion that a person is committing, or is about to commit a crime, and has a reasonable belief that the person may be presently armed and dangerous. So, just like we talked about reasonable suspicion earlier, this doesn't have to be based on a fact. It can be based on your training. It can be based on the high probability of violence in these types of crimes. So if you're pulling someone over for a traffic stop and you've got them out of the car, I wouldn't say it's reasonable to necessarily frisk them immediately. You can't really articulate that they went through a red light, so you're going to immediately suspect they have a gun, because like everybody does. What you would want to do is, for example, if this was you're at the scene of a shootout and you see 3 people on the ground bloody and one dude standing around and he's like, yo, I was just a witness. You could totally frisk them and say, well, I have evidence that, I believe there were shots fired in the area. There are gunshot victims here. This is the only dude around. How do I know he doesn't have it's possibly has a gun? Or this type of crime, people often have guns, like robberies, for example. So you could use your training and the circumstances to frisk somebody. That's called a Terry frisk. You do not need probable cause to frisk somebody.
Yeah, so it's kind of an OOC thing.
You only need reasonable suspicion. It's very critical that you understand that. All right, Wyoming Houghton. Police officers will probably cause a search of vehicle, as in this case, may inspect passengers' belongings found in the car that are capable of concealing the object of the search. This is going to happen a lot during your course of the role play. You're going to have to search for an object in a car. There might be 3 dudes, and in the trunk is a box of pizza. You have the right, if you have probable cause to search for an item like drugs or a gun, and you're searching the people in the car, you also have the right to search the glove box. You also have the right to search the trunk. You also have the right to search anything in the trunk that might contain the object that you're searching for. All right. Speaking of traffic stops, Pennsylvania versus Mims is the next case law. The order to get out of a car issued after the respondent was lawfully detained and was reasonable and thus permissible under the Fourth Amendment. The state preferred justification for such an order, the officer's safety, is both legitimate and weighty, and the intrusion into the respondent's personal liberty occasioned by the order, being at most a mere inconvenience, cannot prevail when balanced against the legitimate concerns for the officer's safety. Under the standard announced in Terry v. Ohio, whether the facts available to the officer at the moment of the seizure or the search warranted a man of reasonable caution in the belief that the action taken was appropriate, the officer was justified in making the search he did once the bulge in the respondent's jacket was observed. So this is a long roundabout way of saying, just like with Terry, Ohio, you don't need reasonable suspicion. You can just pat them down for a gun, and if you feel something, you can search them for the gun. With Pennsylvania versus Mims, if you got someone pulled over on a traffic stop and you've got reason to believe, based on the fact that this is a stolen car, and people often shoot officers over stolen cars, or maybe you are in the neighborhood of a very high probability, like you pull someone over and they go to like Little Seoul and pull over. I would probably have alarm bells ringing if they're pulling over next to, CG territory that you're going to get smoked. So you could certainly order the people out of the car based on your concerns for your safety. If you can articulate that. You can't pull everyone over and always order them out of the car. That doesn't make any sense. But if you can articulate some reason that you believe you're in danger, you can do that. Your safety is a reason that can be used in court. All right. Good. Slide 20. All right, Carroll versus United States, and Carroll, the court
yeah, so the Academy is completely out of character. We can be in character. If I talk in game, I'm probably going to be using Tessa's voice because I just can't.
Buildings and vehicles. Buildings remain stationary, while vehicles and other
it's very hard
cars
for
and other
me
vehicles can be moved and hidden before a warrant can be issued. The court held that if an officer has probable cause that an automobile contains evidence of a crime, the vehicle in question can be searched without a warrant. You're going to have a lot of people telling you need a warrant. Come back to me when you have a warrant. This case law lays the foundation for the fact that if you have probable cause to believe that there's evidence of a crime inside a vehicle, you can search that car and try to recover that evidence. If they drove it around somewhere or tried to park it somewhere, that doesn't change the fact that you've got the right to search that vehicle. If they go into their house, that's different. You can surround a house and lock it down. So that because you can do that, you have to.
Oh, we're about an hour in,
Darth.
Warrant
by a judge signed. If you're
and we're only just going over like the Discord stuff right now. So.
But if they're just throwing an AK in their trunk and being like, "Oh, I parked my car on my property. You're not allowed. You're not allowed to come back with a warrant." Politely tell them to go fuck themselves, get some backup, and go search that trunk and get that AK. All right, Tennessee versus Garner. This one's used a lot, so I hope you guys know this one. Under the Fourth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, a police officer may use deadly force to prevent the escape of a fleeing suspect only if the officer has a good faith belief that the suspect poses a significant threat of death or serious injury to the officer or others. When a non-violent felon is ordered to stop and submit to police, ignoring that order does not give rise to the reasonable good faith belief that the use of deadly force is necessary unless it has been threatened. All right, so someone's running from you doesn't mean you can shoot them. If you believe that they could imminently pose a lethal threat to officers or someone else, you may use lethal force to stop them. But unless they've threatened to do so, or you have reason to believe they're going to do so, you should not use lethal force to engage them. What does it mean to believe that they're going to use lethal force? Well, what if they're running and saying, "Hey, you guys should really stop chasing me unless you all want to die"? Well, you know what? You should probably shoot them then, because they are armed and they've just threatened to shoot officers. I expect you to treat someone threatening to shoot officers as
right
if
now it's
they
just for
are
cadets
about
and
to shoot officers. So
FTOs,
shoot that
which
person,
are
even if
field
they're running
training
away from you,
officers.
shoot them right in the back and don't feel bad about it. Let's say you're chasing a suspect who just gunned down several cops or something like that, and they're running from you. They don't have the gun in their hands, but they still pose an imminent lethal threat if they're running from police, because they have already demonstrated for you that they're willing to
I
murder
don't like
people
having
with
to
the
yell
gun
to
that they
talk
have
over
in their
him.
possession, including police officers. So they still pose imminent threat. Where it does not give rise is when you're just chasing someone from robbing a bank or I don't know, doing a car boost. If they're running and they've got a class 2 on their back, it would only take a second for them to pull that and shoot you, but they haven't threatened to, and they haven't shot anybody yet. So in our server, in our rules, in our world, I would not recommend shooting a person just because they've got a class 2 on their back and they're running from a crime where no violence has been committed yet. Real police would smoke them
So yeah, the
immediately
academy is
because
just
they've
for the
robbed a
officers
bank,
that are
or they had a
involved.
hostage,
We
presumably,
can't
and they've
have
threatened to shoot the
civilians
hostage with
interfering
the
or
gun
doing
that they
anything
possess.
out here.
So for all
We do
those
have
reasons, it would
dispatch
be
here as
completely
well
justified in
to
court
help
if they
with the
just
training.
shot him right in the back. But that would also lead to a really shitty roleplay server where nothing would ever happen. So we're not going to just shoot everybody
Also,
with a
the
gun
uniform stuff,
just
it
because
is
they
kind of rank
robbed a bank or
based.
something, or threatened
However,
to,
there's
you know,
certain
shoot the
things
hostage if we
like
didn't give them safe passage.
every
But
department
only
has
if they shoot police
uniforms
or they say, "I'm gonna
and
shoot you for
certain
chasing me."
pieces of clothing that they can wear.
Yeah, sorry, I'm gonna interrupt you real quick. Just to clarify, do not shoot people just because they have a class 2 on the back. Other circumstances, like Matt's saying, yeah, true, but just because someone's walking around with a class 2 on your back,
No, I'm
you
not a
do
dispatcher. I
not
am
shoot them. I just
a
want to
park
make
ranger
that crystal clear.
and an FTO. So I'm training today. I'm training the cadets.
But is it the case that you can only find that object and you can't see anything else? Custody, so yes, if you just RS at the time, you're looking for the bulge of the firearm. Exactly.
So you can tell who the
so
cadets
for
are
someone
right
to
now
feel
because they're all in their uniforms, and all the FTOs are wearing the either the polo or
let's say if you're patting
the
someone down,
sweatshirt.
the way that they would really learn at the academy is like if you feel something in the right pocket, you have the right
Or
to
rather,
search
they
their
should
right
be
pocket.
wearing the
If that turned
sweatshirt.
out to be a wad of cash, or it
I
turned out to be
unfortunately don't have an instructor
whatever, a cell phone,
outfit.
then you don't have the right to search
My
through their
character
boots and
is a
left
little
pocket and
different
rear pocket
in
as
that
well and
she
be like, "Oh,
can't
I found a crack
wear
pipe."
the
It doesn't
same
work that way.
clothes as
Just
everyone
search for
else
what you thought you felt,
because
and
she's
if
a
it's not
ped
the gun,
model.
then you don't have the right to search the rest of them. So yes, to answer your roundabout way of
So I
answering your
have to
question,
have
yes,
special
ignore the rest
clothing
of the
made
stuff.
specifically for her.
Would reaching out for the glove box in a traffic stop based on reasonable suspicion be considered probable cause? Salim, only if you have reason to believe
What's
that
a
the
ped?
object they
It's
placed
like
in the glove
pedestrian,
box was
basically. She's
evidence of a crime.
the character model for Tessa.
Registration of the vehicle.
Like
Just reaching in
this
the glove box
character
does not give you right to search the
does
glove
not
box at all.
did not originally have these
Let's
clothes.
say
I had to have them
you're
special
chasing a
made.
suspect from a shots fired situation. They get into a
Her
car
default
and then get out of the
clothing,
car and
she's like an
immediately comply with
NPC
you.
basically.
You frisk them. There's nothing in the frisk. You GSR
That
test them.
is
GSR test is positive.
something that you can pick in the clothing store. You can pick like ped models from that store.
That would be totally different. But just being on a traffic stop.
So you see these people in this car, you might find their models in the clothing store and be able to use them.
Reasonable suspicion. Okay. What if they pulled a gun at the top of the ladder? Absolutely, yeah, smoke them. If they aim it at police, if they put it in their hands. Okay, so here's the.
No, there were other academies before they stopped doing these things, but these are extremely helpful to people.
Don't shoot me. There's going to be no roleplay on the server if you just shoot everyone with a gun. What's completely different is if you're chasing me as a suspect and I pull my gun and put it in my hands, well, if I were you, I would give that person, hey, put the gun away. Hey, drop the gun or I'm going to shoot you. Drop that gun. After the third time, if they don't drop the gun, it's still in their hand. I am absolutely going to shoot them 10 times.
But yes,
out of 10.
this particular model,
refusing to put it away.
with the PD clothing, that is unique to me. It's whitelisted, so and no one else can use these clothes. But the original model for Tessa, anyone can pick and use. So I could have a twin somewhere walking around, but she won't have all the clothing that I have.
Because a lot of people,
if that makes
to
sense.
smoke crack and accidentally hit the wrong button and they, pull the gun out and they're like, oops, sorry, and they put it away. Don't shoot somebody for hitting the wrong key. I mean, I wouldn't want to be shot for fat fingering the keyboard either, so. Vehicles have the capability to be mobile. Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Just to confirm, Carol versus United States still apply when the car is not immediately mobile beforehand. Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't need to be. You don't have to have reasonable suspicion that it was mobile or any probable cause to believe it was mobile. Just the fact that it's a car means that you don't need a warrant to search it. It doesn't have the same constitutional protections as a home. Well, if it's an RV, aka domicile, read that exact scenario was brought up multiple times in case laws. If it's got wheels and an engine, even if it's considered a mobile home, it does not have the same protections as a apartment or a hotel room or a home or a garage or a workplace. It doesn't have those same protections as those immobile domiciles. So yeah, if it's got wheels and an engine, you can search it. Even if you claim it hasn't run in years, even if you claim that the engine is shot, the fact that it's classified as a vehicle means if you have probable cause that there's evidence in there, you can search it without a warrant.
The only thing that changes, and this likely doesn't affect the city, but just for your context, is
PD
if you hook up
Academy's
an
going
RV
on.
to water and sewer lines, like in a park, then it becomes a fixture as opposed to a vehicle.
Okay, that's the last case law we needed to go over. So if you want, Mantis, we could break up into groups and either go over scenarios or practice cuffing each other or whatever you want to do.
Yeah, let's break up into groups. There might be a slight problem. I'm having problems having anybody talk on the server right now. So
We might have to spread out and then test it again.
yeah, I'm trying to
I think VoIP is down. I'll try and fix it.
Okay. Okay, yeah. So essentially what we'll do is break up into groups. Let's get spread out. SDSO, just head up to SDSO, honestly. It'll make it easier. And then we can spread out the LSPD in the city. Probably have PBSO there a little bit too. But let's just try to get them spread out.
Let's just go LSI PBSO.
You might need to spread out a little more than that, Potted, but...
Then LSI?
Yeah. Depending on how many groups you have.
Yeah.
We have
all of the
or
cadets' vehicles are over in that parking garage over there.
That's fine. Just head over there then, or wherever you guys are going. Just spread out.
That's fine, son. I'll talk on radio. PBSO FTS, if you can go to radio 3 so we can keep going.
Is radio even working?
I'm not sure.
Radio briefly turns on for me, but that's about it.
Yeah, it's because VoIP's done, so.
Yeah,
I believe what Wise Guy just said is he's working on it, so...
I'm hearing the radio currently.
LSPD, can we go on radio 4?
Yeah, so the other thing is you're probably gonna need to use like the points for each group, so we'll do that too. I have one of the PBSOers right with me right now. I have Ricardo, so he needs a group. I'm bringing him to MRPD.
I'm just gonna wait until I figure
Just, you know,
out.
I can't hear radio. Because VoIP is done. Once. I don't think a lot of us can hear radio.
Also, just to add, we've only got 5 in total from shift 3 for LSPD, so we might just combine and do those 5 together.
Yeah, I already started working on reworking the sheet if you want to take a look.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
All I know right now
If you're
is
SDSO, there should be cars parked at in the
I
garage
am
of MRPD
going-
in the corner near the motorcycles. Grab them, group up, and get it and head out.
From the LSPD side, everyone should be inside of a parking bay right now that has the groups listed.
Over here.
Make sure you're in the correct bay so we can get a head count.
Oh.
Yeah, let's not spawn anything that's not a police vehicle, please.
I'm just following Rogers around. I can't hear where he's going.
You should be good on cars. I think we have a decent amount. Like I said, if there's any SDSO, please come down here. I took out only three or four cars, so I'm surprised you all got one.
If they don't have a car up here ready, I can help them.
Right.
If someone's got, I can spawn some with VIN numbers if you got them.
I think Nova was doing that. I think we
Miss
should
Teddy's
be
good,
okay.
Darth.
On CVPIs, yeah.
Same as usual. Not much changing.
Yeah, I'm throwing an extra
Trust me,
one
if
up here
anything
just in case
changes,
we
I
need
will
it.
let you guys know immediately. But as it stands, the snake is entirely unchanged. Oh my goodness gracious. This is bad. Oh no.
Are the radios working? Are we able to communicate through that right now?
No.
For me.
Radio 3 is working.
I'm still having issues. Do I have to relog maybe?
I think
Well,
when
it's-
everyone gets out of one area, it'll be a lot better. So I'd try resetting number when you get into your own groups.
Yeah, I got it.
And by the way, on Radio 3. Yeah, it might be. I think it's working for some individuals like Hodded and DuPont. So, but there's a lot of us who aren't having it working.
It'll be better. I don't know.
I think we should spread out, yeah, and try again.
We got group 3 going to AirX, so that would be a good tell.
Yeah, we're gonna be moving EU Group 2 and 1 to Buccaneer Way, Russian Dock, as far as I can understand.
My group?
Yeah, we're on a
Fuck, I locked
separate
that, I didn't
server.
mean to.
Hmm.
I think maybe I just heard him. Oh god, oh god. Oh. Server, please. Server, please. Just hang out in first person.
I'm not sure if moving away is going to fix it. Because I obviously TP'd halfway across the map and I still lost mumble or toggling VoIP still isn't working. We can try restart.
Well, it's because there's
And people are still in a very similar, like,
bajillion-
close quarters here, so you probably still have to, like, spread out completely for it to start fixing.
Why have they not spread out?
Because, like, when I mumble, it just says connected for all.
Okay.
What are we doing? Like,
let's
what
just
is
organize
happening?
everything.
Why have they not spread out?
Group 7 LSPD instructors and cadets, Russian docks.
LSPD helpers, if you do not have a group yet, just get with someone and go and help them out.
No, well, I mean,
Come on, you want me to just come with your
they
group,
set up
or?
slushies too.
Reed, we might have to go to like casino car park. There's already a group down at the docks.
All right, we'll go there instead. Casino car park is Group 7 LSPD.
All right, talk. Okay, now I can't hear you guys. Jesus Christ.
Aren't you logging?
Oh, oops, I've been muted. Sorry.
Fucking redo. Anyone hear anything? We might need to go farther up.
You're muted, FYI, in case you didn't know.
Oh shit, I am.
Hey, where's LSPD Group 2 right now?
We're still back there because you give instructions in game. I don't know. I can't hear.
You
So.
didn't hear? Okay,
No,
find
I've
yourself.
said.
I didn't hear that. I'm sorry. If you guys want to stick around there, just go ahead. But you can find yourself a spot. Civilian docks. I said civilian docks, I believe. I think for Group 2.
Okay.
Yeah, we just can't get our in-game voice to work at all right now.
Yeah, I've relogged and everything. I've TP'd the different side of the map. It's still not working, so I don't know.
Okay, so at this point, just to get the show on roll, it's working. We're gonna go old school. If your groups are small enough, make a Discord group and just do a voice call in there.
I figured that. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Right,
and then if we keep this channel like clear for like if FTOs need to like come over to like cross chat and just this right here. But yeah, just make a Discord group with your and start a voice call, and then if Mumble gets working again, we could swap back.
Cool. In that case, you guys can ping command chat when you want this reconvened, because obviously we won't be in this call.
Yeah.
All right, appreciate it.
Is anybody having the issue that their push to talk doesn't even like show up? That it's working?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
I
not
am.
we're not getting any transmit off of radio, I don't think, today.
Okay.
We only have 2 people out of our entire group. We're trying. This is kind of a disaster, unfortunately.
That's right. I'll make you to the group.
Hmm.
There we go.
I did enjoy my day off. That was a nice little break for me. Got a few things done. Sorry it's so awkward, guys. We're having some really severe technical difficulties. Seems like Anita's getting a Discord group together. $244. Okay, let's see.
Pretty lady.
Oh, Lord.
Alrighty. So we supposed to be PBSO?
Yes.
Alright, on my way.
Sorry.
So we're currently at Arax, but if you are not here, Nakkida, if you could yoink them here.
I'm almost there.
Okay, so I guess just do it this way.
Everyone is getting nuked as far as volume.
There's so many Discord pings going on.
Heck that.
Okay,
Sorry, chat. That got me too. I was not.
Let me grab cannoli. No memento. Yeah. Hold on. Did this motherfucker? Wait, hold up. I got it. Okay, there's so many pings. Ugh. Okay.
He's losing it.
No, I'm good.
Hello?
Oh, hey, Nakkida.
Hello. Hello, robot Nakkida.
What? What do you mean?
Yeah, super robot.
So, well, your true cyborg self is coming out, and we knew it all along.
Oh my god.
This explains so much.
What do they mean?
Sheldon, you have a spider on your foot.
The input device is correct.
Let's go.
Wait, so are we going there?
We might have to because we've got more than the amount that's allotted for a
Oh, yeah.
group.
Okay. Alright, we'll do that. Alright.
My group 3, I can't find the document that has all the groups on them.
So what we're gonna do is join that Discord. Hold on.
Join.
Everybody's joining our group.
It's funny because it's labeled Group 3.
I thought I was in group 3.
Yeah, Kath, you moved me into your group, right?
This channel's for Group 3. Why are we here? What's going on? Okay, we're going back.
I don't even know what group I'm in.
Oh Jesus.
Whoever was that was bad. This is group 3
Why?
only. Why?
Well, okay. Hold on.
Why do I sound like a robot? I shouldn't sound like a robot.
It's only for the group 3.
Nice.
Okay. Okay. Hold on.
Is Nancy in our group?
I don't understand what's happening.
Okay.
Eventually.
There we go. I think that's it. Maybe.
We're missing one?
Who we missed? 3 FTOs. 1, 2, 3. Oh, there we go. All right. Okay. So now we have everybody.
Hello?
Oh my god.
Yeah. I think it. I don't know if it's just yours.
You could try changing your region, Nakkida, in Discord, or we could try changing the region of the group.
Yeah, I can adjust that too if needed.
It took me so long. I had to find another Discord group channel to leave.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess that with okay. Here.
It's not per se your end of it, Nakkida. It's Discord's end of it for you.
It could be your Discord input.
I heard let's say if I
Yeah.
join a different one first, and then I'll base off of her.
Like, in all honesty, we can understand you. Just let you know that it's robotic.
Let's go!
Oh, I think we're going to the... we're going to the actual Discord.
Oh my god.
All right, hold on, chat. Sorry. Gotta restart Discord. Wait, they all just left the thing? Hello? What is happening? Oh, I see. Okay, they changed it. Okay.
Oh, there she is. Maybe might be
Hello?
good now. No,
We can still understand you.
Yeah, we can understand you. We kind of like it.
Okay, well, I'm not okay with it.
Powerful.
I've ran into it before, and it tends to be my input for Discord. Like, I can hear myself just fine, but if I change it up because I use a banana meter, sometimes it just gets wonky.
I don't know how banana meter made me laugh.
Look, hey, I didn't come up with the name of it, okay? It works.
Alright, so I guess we'll go ahead and get things going. So we only have about 10 minutes before the server restart. So I guess what we can do is, does anybody have any questions over anything that we've gone over so far? Any questions with RSPC, how that works? Any questions overall of anything that we've gone over so far?
I don't think I have any questions per se, but I know when lady was going over the MDW.
Yes.
At one point, it was so laggy, I backed out and went to go jump back in, and there was too many people viewing it, so I'm about to go back and watch her stream later to.
Well, and another
go
thing
half out.
too, is there are there's videos pinned in the waiting for FTO channel that have everything in relation to MDW stuff.
Okay, cool.
Okay. All right, so we'll go ahead and we'll, because I got to do attendeance. Hold on. Where's that one?
How do I change my region? Somebody said to change my region. I don't know.
Wait, I supposed to my talking game.
Hello? Hello?
I hear you.
Yeah, no. Oh, you hear me in game too?
There we go.
Oh, no, I hear you in Discord.
All right, so we'll just go ahead and Bruce is here. Patty Luke is here. Sheldon Jones is here. Hold on, let me change these real quick, just so. Richard Tips, John Hydra, everybody here?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We have significantly more
just make
people
sure
here
Bruce-
than
Yo.
are in our
Patty.
channel.
Sheldon.
Here.
Richard.
Hello.
John Hydra.
Present.
All right, so all of us are here.
All
Everybody's-
present and accounted for, sir.
I don't like that bright green. We'll go with the
Why do we have like 20 people here and not
I don't know.
like who are you people?
Oh, my soul.
Like Nancy's here and stuff? Like what's going on?
So there's group 5 and 3, it looks like here.
Why?
Yeah, still here.
I don't know. I don't know why group 4. Okay, so group 5, go ahead and get in your cars. Where's mine at? Mine's over here. All right, we're gonna go ahead and go.
They were sending all shift 2 to Share X is what happened.
Yes. Yeah, so shift group 5, we're gonna go over by the radio tower. So grab your cars, head over.
Should we go further than that? I don't know if that's far enough to change.
I mean, we're not gonna. We're still gonna be talking in Discord. We're not going to be
Sorry, chat.
talking in game. It's gonna be easier that way as is. Oh god, I'm getting pings.
We changed reach. We said no.
Alright.
Trendsetter boys.
Like I want to fix this Discord issue, but I also don't want to touch anything on my Go XLR. I do not want to power cycle it, especially not while I'm live.
I think we're just waiting.
Because it's just gonna make me mad, and I don't want to.
Let's look and see what our first
Make it worse.
module is going to be. It's going to be so. Everybody, go ahead and line up in front of me. Has everybody here read through the SOPs and knows case laws that we have currently established? Or is that something we need? Is that something we need to go over?
I have.
I have.
Okay. All right. So as long as everybody is aware of the case laws and how everything works, we're gonna go ahead and keep moving through it. So everybody here, we will go ahead and start with. We've already done the patrol operations, like such as detention and that sort of stuff. If you guys do look at your F1 radial menus, you have a lot of things. Maybe. All right, so you might have to look at each other.
Can you guys hear them
I
okay?
can take pair up. Bruce, you can come with me.
Do I
or
need to
we can
raise their
have
volume?
somebody Be the oddball. What I want everybody to do is we are going to set up keybinds as long as everybody has everything sorted and all that sort of stuff. I did do it with the group that I helped onboarding, so we should be all right. But if you go in your radio menu, you should see your F1 and all those sort of things. We're going to kind of go over a little bit of that before we start going full deep on things. But like you have your GSR test, your frisk, all those sort of things. So our first little bit here is we're going to start with a RS and PC scenario. So we're going to start with a 1010. Who can what's a 1010?
Fight in progress.
Okay. Alrighty. So how
How's
do we wanna
that?
do this?
I don't think I need this anymore, but we'll put it up just in case.
I feel like we need like a FTO channel 5 and a group channel 5.
No more channels.
Right. Cadets, go ahead and mute, or sorry, deafen, and we will let you guys know in game when you guys are good to unmute, so we can discuss how our training is gonna go.
Before.
All right. So now it's just the three of us as FTOs. So we have a 10-10 fight. A call report. Let me read through this real quick. Call Basically a 10-10, a fight in progress, that sort of stuff. A call of a fight was reported. Officers need to identify through the exam player function who is the aggressor, who has the injuries. So Nakkida and Silver, if you guys want to get that sorted, let me.
What slide are you on?
I'm not on the slide. It's on the PT Academy sheet, PBSO PT Academy sheet. There's RS and PC scenarios. It's kind of a little lower. It's in between shift 3.
Oh, okay. Okay. Nakkida here.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. I guess we can go around the
If you
corner.
guys, if you guys want to go around the back of the just the building here, we'll get that started. All right.
You can punch me. I'm not gonna punch.
All right. They're indefinite. All right. All right. Waiting for one more who's not paying attention. Oh, there we go. All right, everybody's here. All right, so has everybody kind of gotten a little bit of going through like the radio menu of our police actions that we have, such as like the examine, target, frisk, those sort of things, GSR, search, that sort of stuff. If you've not, go ahead and do that. Take a minute or two. What we might want to do, Nakkida, do you know if there's going to be a restart? I would assume.
I have no idea. Oh no. Oh no.
Okay.
By that, I'm gonna assume by that possibly.
That would be
Sneaking suspicion. Me and Empath, we're not supposed to 13.
Yeah, nope. Do not 13 Alpha, 13 Bravo. Do not do any of that. The only time that will happen is if you're on the live server. For Academy, do not. So I don't know if there's going to be a server restart. So if the server does restart, what we will do is we'll go ahead and have you guys just spawn up at Polito, and then we will get brought down here to the AirX. Hopefully with the restart, Mumble will work, and so we aren't all cluttered in the same Discord channel. We can actually talk and have conversations and interactions in the server. But in the off chance that it does, and it does not work, then we'll just keep using Discord. So I guess we'll let everybody just kind of fiddle with their F1 menus for a bit. Hi.
Does anybody have like keybind questions? You guys all
Yeah.
have your radio, like where you can change the radio stations, volume. Those are important things you need to have.
So the group that when I helped onboarding, I went through and set up keybinds. So I want to make sure that everybody, I don't know if we have enough time, but when we get back, I will go through all the keybinds to make sure that everybody has them set up, because I know that at least Mick has his set up, because I did it with my group when I onboarded them, of like getting the camera set up so you can use the PD camera in the helicopter and those sort of things. And all those keys and functions that are on the daily. Oh my god. Dickhead.
Oh god. I'm trying to uncuff you, but you're me in game.
Yeah. I don't. All right. Courtesy circles. All right. I think the servers. Nope. Maybe not. Nope. I think we're. I don't think there's a restart.
Oh yeah, we're all gonna have to come back. We're all gonna have to come back here.
Well, we'll be.
I'm hearing in-game VoIP actually.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, same.
It might not restart.
All right, everybody
My
here.
in-game VoIP is
in-game-
just lit up. I don't know what the. It's concerning.
Try UI-R in F8.
Yeah.
And
See if
plus
that'll
mumble.
fix it.
Yeah, I don't know. I was doing it earlier and my game locked up. It was like, I'm trying to fix your audio? I don't think so, buddy.
Yep.
Wait,
Yeah, I can hear.
I just heard a handcuff sound, and no one here is handcuffed, and I'm upset.
Can you talk? Can you talk?
That might have
again,
been me
Tessa?
uncuffing myself.
Hello?
Yeah, you still sound robotic.
Why?
You sound robotic even now. I don't know.
I don't know.
You might need to disable your. Use it, Connor.
Yes?
I need to disable your communication device and re-able it.
What I do when mine does that is I unplug the power thingy, and I count to 10, and then I plug it back in. Usually it works. I swear to God, mine does that a lot.
You know, I believe you though.
It's
I
only on the
honestly believe
server.
you.
It's only on the server.
All right. Well, I think that VoIP is good. So, all right, one at a time. Talk.
Hello.
Okay, Richard's your special. I'm pointing at people, and you're just like, "Oh, hello."
You're pointing at me.
No, I was pointing at.
Pat, you look up here. You can hear me.
Yep.
Big Gusta.
Richard Tips, hello.
But she's still counting to 10.
Yeah, she's still down to 10. All right. And Richard's good. Okay, I think.
Okay, I guess I have to because otherwise it's just gonna sound potato all day. So I'm gonna go ahead and just try to unplug my GoXLR, and we'll. I might have to restart my stream. All right, so give me a second.
Yeah, we can't hear you on the Radio Hydra.